Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So today, I'm actually gonna make a Telltale Games video. So, in case you guys don't know, which I think you guys, it's kind of weird, I don't know if people actually know or not, but The Expanse is coming out less than 2 weeks. It's very exciting. I'm kind of both excited and nervous, like, considering it's like a co-partnership with Deck9 Games. Sure, it is Telltale Games' first game back, but I don't know. I feel like it's more of a Deck9 Games kind of game. But either way, Telltale Games are involved with this project, and I am really excited to see The Expanse come back. Not come back. I'm excited for Telltale Games to come back. And considering I don't know that much about The Expanse, I'm honestly like really excited to see the whole world of The Expanse and to see like what the game's all about. Especially since it's like rated M, I believe, and the show's like PG-13, I believe. So I'm excited to see like what fucked up shit they're gonna do in the game and like the choices and stuff. That's literally all I care about. I'm just excited to see that. But yeah, Telltale Games did actually Reddit MMA. I don't know why I couldn't say that. And I took some interesting screenshots, and they. It's so funny. It says it's now ended. They did do an I can't even say it, AMA, Telltale and Deck9 Games on talking about the release of The Expanse. They also talk about some other stuff on like some other series and some like old IPs a little bit, just briefly. But I thought it'd be really interesting to talk about it, so let's just get right into it. So yeah, I did choose the most interesting ones that I thought were interesting. These were questions that were already answered in like previous articles, I guess you could say, but I thought it would be important just to bring them up again just because, yeah. What was the reasoning behind releasing the games and episodes rather altogether? Jamie, the CEO. I like Jamie. Episodic is a hallmark of games for which the original Telltale was known. We wanted to keep that through line, but unlike previous Telltale games, the Expanse of the Telltale series will be episodic, with development completed on the entire series 5 episodes prior to the launch of the first episode. We're on a tighter release cadence, more like TV show, with the pacing of 2 weeks between episodes so that we give players the space to think about and discuss the decisions while maintaining momentum. So this was something that was really interesting to me personally, because for me personally, I enjoy episodic games. I really love that about Telltale Games. I thought that made Telltale Games like kind of like unique in its own way about them releasing games. However, I believe that, in my personal opinion, I think this is even like so strongly, I do think there's a point to this. I don't think episodic releases are really a good idea anymore, but then again, the new Telltale Games are going to be releasing the episodes within 2 weeks, so 2 weeks between each episode we get a brand new episode. So I think this formula can work way better. I think Telltale Games, the old Telltale Games with The Walking Dead the final season, they were trying a new episodic release formula. They even did with Batman the Enemy Within, where they release episodes like monthly, like 1 month after another. And they did have a schedule ahead of time for the final season, but of course we all know what happened with that. So I'm glad that the new Telltale Games is trying to keep up with like a strict schedule. I'm hoping that there won't be any delays. I'm guessing there's not going to be any delays at all, considering all the 5 episodes are completed. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Are we going to have a physical edition? That's something we're exploring, but it won't be available at launch. Right now, our primary focus is the launch on digital storefronts, as expected, considering the game is sort of on a budget, I would say. I don't want to say budget, but considering it's on Epic Games exclusive, Telltale Games is a small company, and also they're working with Deck9 Games, I'm assuming that there's like a budget involved. I guess that's kind of like with all games at this point, but like, you know what I mean with that. What led to going with the Epic Games Store exclusivity? Epic was an early supporter of the game, and of Telltale, we were just saying the company back up. The Expanse will be released at a later date on Steam, just not at launch. So this was honestly kind of expected. In case you guys don't know, the Epic Games Store exclusive, it's really good in my personal opinion. Actually, it's not my personal opinion. It's literally a fact at this point. Literally, if you're like a small indie developer, Epic Games can like support the game financially. So even if the game doesn't sell well, like let's just say The Expanse doesn't sell well, the game would still be fine in terms of like being a success, like in terms of like money wise, because Epic Games gave Telltale Games money just for having it in their store page for being exclusive. So that's kind of like that's why people hate. It's so weird because people hate Epic Games so much because they have exclusive games on there, and I can understand the bigger companies. Like I remember when Borderlands 3 was Epic Game exclusive, and it did not have to be Epic Game exclusive. Like they could have like released it on Steam at launch, but they just want like extra money. So but with Telltale Games, they literally have to do this because they literally have no money. I hate to say that, but like they're literally starting up the company again. They're starting from the bottom pretty much, like the bottom. I'm just saying. How did the expanse get close to finish so quickly? I don't understand how it came out before the Wolf Among Us, despite Wolf Among Us being announced long before. This one I'm really excited about. Basically, Jamie said that the expanse started development shortly after Wolf 2, but we held the announcement. It's shipping first because we worked with Deck 9, who had the team versus our internal team, which we started building just as COVID hit. You can find more details in the IGN interview. I don't even know why they said that. But yeah, basically, Deck 9 Games is basically an established company, and they already know like what the fuck they're doing. They know what the fuck, like what their game is and like or how the game development worked. This was after Life is Strange True Colors, so I'm assuming that's where the co-partnership began. But yeah, they literally knew what they were doing and all that, so that's what I found pretty interesting about it, is that people got confused about why the expanse is releasing first. I got kind of confused as well, but it kind of makes sense because Telltale Games is working on the Wolf Among Us 2 with alone. They're working with Ad Hoc Studios, I believe it is, but they're like a small company. Deck 9 Games, I would say, is a pretty good, I wouldn't say they're a super large company, but they're pretty well established already in like what they are and stuff, if that makes sense. Do your choices actually matter, and will it affect the ending? Our goal was to make your choices affect the story and the ending. Every member of your crew can die except for one, or every member of your crew can survive except for one. There are also items in the world you can find that will build rapid with your crew that change the outcomes as well. In our playtests with press and influencers, numerous players stated that they felt their choices mattered as well. We're looking forward to players playing through the end of the series to see how their playthroughs differ. So that's what made me really personally excited in terms of like stories. It's clear that they do care about how much they want to make choices matter. I actually saw it somewhere in the Reddit post. Someone actually shared it. I couldn't find it. I think I just wasn't looking hard enough. But episode 5, I believe, can have like a different playthrough. I'm talking about the Expanse, by the way. I'm not talking about like any other old Telltale game. Like the Expanse episode 5 is apparently going to be very different. Like depending on your choices, it'll have like it'll be a different episode format, I believe, from what I've heard. And that's like really cool to see Telltale Games like doing that. I'm kind of expecting that from like all their Telltale games now at this point, that the episodes are going to be different. I really do like applaud Telltale Games and I guess Deck 9 Games since they're working on the game as well. Like, I will admit the thing I was worried about the most was how will choices, matter? Because in the show, like in the canon universe, Camila Drummer has to get to a certain point to where it's canon to the show. But something interesting I found out was that the Camila Drummer character that we're going to play as in the game, she's not even in season 1 of the show. I thought that was really funny because I thought she was the main character of the show, but I guess she's not a main character until like season 3 or 2, something like that. But yeah, it's really cool that Telltale Games actually thought of a way to like incorporate like a Telltale character, not Telltale character, a show character, but it's a show character that doesn't really have a lot of like origin story, like background, I guess you can say. And they really wanted to do something really interesting to like where they make choices actually matter and that it's not actually like your story and they're not limited to the story. That's something that I really applaud Telltale for doing, because even Deck 9 Games had issues like this, like with Life is Strange Before the Storm. I love that game a lot, but that game choices really did not matter. I'm just saying, it's kind of like weird. So I am really glad that there's going to be like more emphasis on choices mattering. I really hope that choices will matter, because I understand that the influencers and the people, they only played episode 1. Like, I get it. It's only the first episode they played, and sure, it might be a good first impression, but like, I'm really concerned about the middle chunk. Like, is it gonna be really good in episode 2 as well, and episode 3, and episode 4, and then episode 5? I'm assuming that episode 1 and 5 are gonna be great, but like the middle chunk is like really what I'm concerned about. I really hope that they have to share together and they know what they're gonna do for the story. That's what I'm really hoping for. Will there be more emphasis on gameplay, actual shooting mechanics, puzzle to solve when not in combat, skill tree or perks? Skill tree in a Telltale game? Oh my gosh, that shit makes me laugh. I love Telltale storytelling, but the gameplay department has always struggled. Storytelling is obviously the core focus of Telltale games, and for The Expanse, we want to lean into storytelling on the sticks with our zero-G mechanic. You can float and rotate in any direction, use your mag boots to walk on ceilings, and collect items to bring back to your crew to build rapid with them and change the story. We still have some quick time events for more of the action-oriented moments, and we have light puzzle solving elements in zero-G as well. So this was something that they already talked about. Zero-G was like a big deal about like the new part of the gameplay, and while it's not like groundbreaking or anything, it's actually like a step up to like the Telltale games, because I remember Guardians of the Galaxy, they kind of tried to do something like this with like flying, and it was okay, but it wasn't anything special. But I'm just glad that there'll be like more open world gameplay, and not open world really, but you know what I mean, like open areas, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I've never really played a Telltale game before or watched The Expanse, so I'm excited for this one, as it seems like a lot of hard work went into it. Does the game follow the original story, or does it branch off in its own self-contained story within the universe? So this is really cool. It's kind of like what I basically said earlier. The Expanse of Telltale series is a prequel that follows Belter Kamina Drummer prior to the events of the television series. The story takes place years before the events of The Expanse Season 1. This prequel serves to give us an understanding of Kamina Drummer's experience as an exile on a scavenger ship before the events of the show, and gives us some insight into how she became a person we met in Season 2. Obviously, the amazing Kara G joined us to reprise her role as the no-nonsense Kamina Drummer, and there will be a few more noteworthy characters who make an appearance throughout the show. But watching the show first isn't required, but it's great and we recommend you watch it. So basically, watching the show will just give you an idea of like what the world is, but you literally don't have to. It's like the same situation with The Wolf Among Us. You don't really have to play it. You don't have to read the Fables comics in order to understand The Wolf Among Us, considering it's a prequel, which I absolutely love. Like, I think it's a good idea that they're making prequels instead of like in canon of like, you know, the show or the comic, you know what I mean? Like, it could work either way, but like I think just so they can get more freedom. They mentioned this takes years before Season 1, so this is already like on a great starting point to like where they can actually make choices mattering and characters actually like have a purpose, and they won't just die just so the show can be canon, if that makes sense. I don't know if that made sense, but it made sense in my head. What similarities might this title have to the games from the old Telltale? What's brand new? We are leaning heavily into motion capture tech for our performances. We had Kira G herself acting on motion capture volume with other actors. We're evolving what we've done in past for gameplay to convey the vastness of space, and it really is such a key component of the show. We factor in things like gravity, floating in zero-G, walking on walls, and a new way to navigate open world exploration like old games. And then this one talks about like how many hours will the gameplay Expanse be. It depends upon how much you explore, and there are several different outcomes and varied content depending on your choices, but we're confident that the Expanse Telltale series will have a lot of content for players to enjoy. And then they just literally talk about Wolf Among Us 2 being delayed, but it's making good progress. I'm glad they mentioned that it's making good progress. That gives us a nice update of like that the game is fine, because the game was supposed to come out actually this year, but it got delayed to... Actually, I think it got delayed indefinitely, but people are assuming it's coming out next year, and I honestly think it's coming out next year. There's no way it could be delayed any longer, and if it is, then I'm actually going to be really disappointed, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's currently all the information on like the AMA. There's actually a lot more, and I believe they talked about like Minecraft Story Mode. I believe they talked about not owning the IP, but yeah, that's pretty much that. But yeah, I'm going to be streaming The Expanse, a Telltale series on my Twitch channel, so I would definitely recommend you guys following me on Twitch, GamerPercy456. I would really appreciate that a lot. I will be streaming The Expanse on my Twitch channel, in case you guys are wondering, as soon as it releases, I'm hoping. And I will be uploading the walkthroughs on YouTube, so if you guys can't make it to the streams, you can just watch it on YouTube. But if you guys follow the Twitch channel, I would really appreciate it a lot. And yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys later when The Expanse releases. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys later in the next video. So goodbye!